In this video, with combining the basics of Rhino and a few components in Grasshopper, we're going to make an easy and also interesting pattern in Rhino. And you can apply this pattern on any type of surface or any type of jewelry. And because of the Grasshopper, you have a good control on the details of this pattern. I hope you'll enjoy it. I saw a special 3D pattern which it was interesting to try. And in this video, I'm going to make it with the help of Grasshopper. I'm not saying using of Grasshopper because if you want to use the Grasshopper, you should go for some serious, crazy parametric things. But in this video, we're just using one component from Grasshopper. And this 3D pattern is possible to use in any type of designs. It doesn't matter if it's a ring or pendant or whatever. In this case, we're going for ring, a simple one. So I'm going with the size of 54 Europe. The length of the curve is 54, which it means the European 54 size. I'm sure you can change it in any region you need. Now I'm going to start from the bottom, both sides. I'm going for the 2, which is totally 4 millimeter. Then I'm going to put it down with 17 or 0.7. Rebuild. I need 4 points. I'm going to the right view. I add the 1.5. I control the curves. Then I need a curve here to finish my cross section. Mirror. Then go for the join. Not using the rebuild. Then I'm going in the front view. Rotate. Copy is on. Put copy at the top. I decrease the length to 3.5. I'm going to add some more height. At 0.4. I've added. And I'm doing the sweep and pick sides of the shank. Okay, I have to align the cross section and then close it. Let's check the side of the shank. It's 1.7. Yeah, it's good. But because of our pattern, which is 3D and a little bit, adding a little bit height to our design, we have to decrease this part. I have two options to decrease totally the cross sections or add an extra cross section here to control it. But I think in this case, I can decrease this 1.5 a little bit to 1.2. And I'm going to check this part again. 1.57 is enough. And I'm going to the perspective, coming to the front view, at the bottom part, make it a realistic project, which the customers can edit it on the bench even after casting. Cut the bottom part, let the surface with the loft, join, and cap. Usually I'm closing the ISO curves to make it clear, but I forgot something which I have to undo. Usually I don't like to have this edge at the top of my ring because it will affect pattern, especially the repeatable patterns. So I'm doing undoing, and before splitting, I put the tears in the hide, explode it. Then I'm coming here. Then I'm going to adjust closed surface seam. I adjusted the bottom part. Now I feel much better. For this one also, I can do the same thing. It's not necessary because it's in the side, but you can do it. Because it's mirror, I remove that one. I join them, and I bring back the cutters. We have a DOM here, which belongs to another video, which you can check in the channel. Remove it. Well, we're going to join them, use the cap. So we're going to lock this part, and let's go for the other parts. I'm going to explode again. To have a super realistic project and stick to the rules for the weight of the ground, because gold these days are so expensive. Also, the silver starts going high. I will add 0.5 millimeter offset here. Extrude the curve. I'm cutting these two surfaces. I bring the edge at the bottom. I didn't like the edge in the middle of design. And then I split, remove the cutter. These two parts are going to be 0.5 millimeter. Add some strength to the structure of our ring. So I add them to a different layer, change object, and block, and add color. For these two small parts, I'm adding a thickness of 0.4. Remove this one or use the mirror. These small details helps you to decrease the weight, especially when you're working with the gold. Now I'm going to make it duplicate edge. Set this curve on surface, use 55, mirror, split, split the surface again. Now we have two new surfaces here. I'm adding 0.35 to it. Now we have a surface at the center, which we want to add the pattern on it. Select the curves and make a new layer, put the curves in that layer and turn it off. Maybe in the future we'll need it. What is our pattern? Let's go for it. I turn on the grid snap, put a point here. Then I'm adding a sphere, diameter 75. Turn off the grid snap, relocate it, vary polar, grid snap is on, and then that will repeat. And turn off the grid snap. In order to easily have to get some overlap to touch each other, to make connection and make it as a one part in the pattern. I'm going to hide these spheres to show you how will be the pattern make. And I start repeating these points with the help of copy and mirror. Just take care and be careful. We don't need the duplicate objects to point at the same point, because we're going to use the grasshopper to put the spheres on those points. If we have a duplicate point, the grasshopper is going to add a duplicate sphere, which will be a problem in our design. So while you're instancing these points, be careful about your snaps. And if you're using copy also, you have to do the same thing. You can use the array as well, but I think if you are experienced in Rhino, you can just, with a few clicks, very fast, you can make this pattern. That's it. This is our pattern. This is what we need. We have to apply it on top of the surface, then go to the grasshopper and tell the grasshopper to put sphere on each point. Why we are using grasshopper? Because if we want to use it in Rhino, we have to do it manually on the ground or use the array. And then we have to flow these spheres on top of the surface. Then we have some deformation. And we don't want to have that deformation of the surface. Because of that, I'm going to use the points. Now I have set surface my main surface, which I'm going to apply the pattern on it, with solid in no, and both sides is no, just a plain surface I need without any thickness. The thickness of this sphere is 75. So I think at the moment we have to pick, maybe we have to change the surface, but at the moment I think that zero point 0.3 is enough to bring it down. And you have to make sure this surface have connection with the side. If I was adding, for example, 0.6 millimeter, surface lost the connection and there is no contact. So no contact means your object maybe have some problems with contact. And so during the 3D printing or casting, you'll face with some problems. So be careful about that part. I'm going to offset surface again, 0.3, hiding the isocurves, doing it squish, open surface. Then I'm going to make a copy of these points. Then I need a point in the center of it. Then it doesn't matter. One of the points will be our reference. Select last object lock. There is a point which I was created by the area centroid, which I have to delete it because if I'm not going to delete it and doing this squish back, then I have a duplicate point. So I delete it, lock, use these points for the pull command, and put all those points on my surface. Then I'm going to use the squish back and then select last object. Then we have all these points. Then I'm going to the grasshopper. In the grasshopper, you can make whatever you want and use all the commands just in these cases like this, which we are working on a pattern, make it very fast and easy. And in real time, you can do some changes also. So this is our grasshopper. Double click, type the sphere. Then you need points. Connect the point to the base and add the radius, which is 35. Let's start with the 35. Select set multiple points. Then you can see these spheres. Now we can change size because of the amount of spheres, which a lot in this case. It depends on your computer and how it will take to calculate. Maybe it will take some time, but you can see now all of them connecting each other. And we have our pattern ready. I'm happy with the size and everything. Then I'm coming here, right click, bake, yes please. This yes please means put them in a group because already we have a lot of spheres or beads. If they were not in a group, it will be a headache, especially in the more complicated designs. Okay, and then closing the grasshopper. Now we have our pattern. As you see in the sides, we have some connection problems. What we're going to do, we're going to show our surface, then duplicate face border of the surface, explode it because the edges you will face with some problems because we're going to use the pipe. Explode it, put it in a group, pipe, diameter 0.6, select last. The 0.6 was the exact amount of that offset of the surface. Now we're going to the render view. You can see it clear. For these edges also, you can manually clean them if you need, or you can, for example, relocate them. It depends on you. It depends on your style or the place. For example, here, if I'm going to delete, so I'm facing with problem. For this part, I think I can delete. Doing the same thing here. Mhm. Here I'm going to clean. Then you can do this exact same cleaning. You have to follow what you have done at the right and the left. You can also use the mirror, but I want to show the process. Look on the side, and you can go on and clean everything. The other thing that you can do, just remove half of it and make it plain at the bottom. It depends on you and your design and your style. And this 3D pattern is kind of interesting after casting, especially, and it gives you some idea to do more things. But the positive point of this technique, it's very fast. You just need to find the surface that you need because Grasshopper will do the rest of the job for you. Maybe it will looks a very easy job for Grasshopper, but for us, it's perfect because with flowing these objects on the surface, we'll have deformation. Or if we want to just put a sphere on each point, it will take plenty amount of time, or maybe thousands of years if you have, for example, 3 or 5 full sets in a collection with the same pattern. Just imagine how long it will take. So using Grasshopper always can help you to become faster and do the jobs easier. I hope you enjoy it. Do not forget to subscribe. If you like it, please click on the like button and see you in the next video.